So why does dating feel almost impossible for men in 2025?
Dating feels almost impossible for a lot of men in 2025 because, you look at the average guy. The average guy isn't getting matches on dating apps. He's not getting stopped or, getting a lot of affection from women in his daily life. He probably doesn't have a whole lot of friends. And so he's online and he's seeing all of these gorgeous women, some of whom aren't even real with AI now. There's a lot of AI girls out there, edited photos and stuff like that. And they're just suffering this constant barrage of them feeling inadequate by what their life experience is teaching them versus what they're seeing online, which is like a lot of, attractive women or couples or stuff like that. So they just kind of feel beaten down by it, and it really does suck being the average guy who isn't taking control of their life in today's day and age. There's absolutely no sympathy for them. But the good news is that if you do choose to rise above this and do choose to actually start bettering yourself and start doing the things that is going to give you a result with women, then it can be possible to be successful. And the bar is pretty low because most guys don't try. Most guys just, wallow in self-pity, and they take themselves out of the dating market because they think that it's not worth it for them. But in reality, I don't care who I'm talking to. If you're watching this, you absolutely can change your circumstance.
All these women online constantly crying about age gap, saying things like, older men only date younger women because they're easy to manipulate. Or they only date younger women because they can't get women their own age. That's like saying men only drive Lamborghinis because they can't afford a Honda Civic. Why don't I date women my own age? I don't know. Why don't you date men your own height? Why don't you date men that make less money than you? If coochie was a stock, it would be plummeting after 24. By 40, you've already lost 80% of your peak value. By 50, it's basically a penny stock. No wonder women would rather choose the bear. By 30, they're getting mauled in a bear market.
People are overinflated, especially women, in their own head. This is not all women, because some women really have really do struggle with feeling down on themselves. But y'all, that's not the mainstream at this point. The mainstream is actually overinflated. That's why Kevin Samuels, Your Average at Best, was such a viral sensation, because women were so unaccustomed to being seen or to have it reflected to them that they're very similar to other women. Like, it's unthinkable, which is why the fact of you're average, because most people are average, the fact that you're average is like a serious ego disruptor for so many women. There's an overinflation, not just in terms of physical appearance, but in terms of like your quality of your character. There's an overinflation.
I have a theory about women and men. I haven't said it out loud. I have a theory that almost everything about like major differences in relationship between men and women can be traced back to women getting their period. Go with me on this. I'm like any man. When I get a head cold, I'm just go on without me. No one's ever been this ill. I'm so sad. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Women from a quite young age learned the following lesson. You're going to be uncomfortable roughly every 28 days and you still have to get. So the fact that you're uncomfortable, you still have to operate under those conditions. You don't get to say, I have cramps, I'm going to be staying home for the next 2 days. You don't get to do that. So 1, you learn how to operate when you're uncomfortable. Okay. 2, you actually have to plan ahead. Like a woman getting her period, like you have to be like, okay, I have to bring sanitary products. I have to think about, if I'm planning a thing, I don't want to plan it for this particular week because probably that's where I'll be in my cycle. So you have to plan. So I think that thing creates like certain habits of thought, like a willingness to be uncomfortable and still push through and operate. A planning ahead of things, a realizing that like your body and your emotional state are going to fluctuate sometimes due to circumstances beyond your control and you just have to ride with it. Like men don't have anything like that. We're uncomfortable even for a second and we're like, well, this is broken. This is done. There's something seriously wrong. So that's the reason why, like, I think a lot of men, the minute something's gone uncomfortable in their marriage, are like, well, we're done. Roll up the sleeve. We're done. We're finished. This is it. It's wrong. And it's like, no, you gotta be. You got cold. You're gonna be all right.
Women are acting like men and men are acting like women. Women are chasing careers, money and multiple partners. Men are seeking emotions, validation, and feelings. That's why men today feel useless, miserable, and while women are unfulfilled, depressed, and lonely. You know, when we stray away from our natural roles, we become a generation feeling empty and lost. Men drowned in emotions and women chasing fulfillment in all the wrong places. What's the result of all of this? Well, a broken society filled with confusion and misery. And you know, true peace only comes when we embrace who we were created to be, not what the world and what society pressures us to become.
Men over 50 are almost twice as likely as women to marry out of the West. So these guys are literally, they've exhausted their options in the West or in their town or in their city or even in their country, and they're expanding their dating map. So what's actually even more interesting is that guys are actually they're starting younger doing this too. So like guys who are in their 20s and 30s are like, I'm not even going to start like dating in my community. I'm going to look abroad first, which is kind of insane to me. Like, you got to test the waters first before you even go out there.
Why do women respect men who aren't afraid to lose them?
Because biologically speaking, I know it's a silly term, but the alpha male hundreds of thousands of years ago had access to multiple women. And women are looking for certain status indicators that the man they're with are a so-called alpha male. Silly little term, but it just means tribal leader. Because biologically, you want a guy who can protect and provide. Now, in Ireland or in the US, there isn't just one tribal leader anymore. So how do you judge whether the guy you're with is actually competent and confident and he has resources and he has good genetics? Well, you look at certain signals, certain honest signals. And one of them is him having abundance. If a guy is desired by other women, you see him in the presence of other women, you're like, oh, there's something about him. It immediately makes him more attractive. Now, if he becomes a total player, that reduces trust. That's a value-trust dynamic. What increases his value in the marketplace oftentimes reduces trust, and what builds trust sometimes reduces value. But wanting somebody who's desired by other women, that is very natural. And if you are willing to walk away, or you at least sub-communicate that on the first date, it implies that you have options. And if you're a man who's doing well in your career or your business, and you want to find the right girlfriend or wife, DM me the words life partner, and I'll get back to you personally.
Just because she's crying doesn't mean she's a victim. Let's do this again. Men get called toxic for setting boundaries. Meanwhile, women get praised for controlling behavior. Men, have you ever been in a situation where a woman flips the script? The crocodile tears start coming, flips the whole narrative. You might not have even done anything wrong, but she will flip it all back to you. Women love to weaponize those emotions. Then we wonder why men don't typically communicate well. I'm not saying all. And this one really gets women fired up. Come here for this one. Women who withhold communication, affection from their person, that is emotional manipulation. That's not empowerment. And remember, this is not gender specific. This is about power and control. And I don't know why society tends to forget that women are just as capable as doing emotion, just as men are. But the only difference is one gets called out, the other one gets excused. But fellas, don't forget, Jesus is king, and don't be out there arguing with Jezebels.
Broski, just what it is. Girls want a guy that's already a millionaire.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Like, listen.
Brother, the average millionaire is 60 years old, bro. So it's not even like realistic, bro. Yeah. So girls come online, I want a Hermes bag for my birthday, I want a Birkin, I want this. Bro, that's £30,000, £50,000. Bro, where do you want this guy to get this money from, bro? How much is the highest paid job in the UK, though? Like a very good job, ain't it?
It's probably about 100.
It's not 100.
No, the most you could get would probably be 100. Take away taxes, 60.
Yeah, but for a man to be on 100k, that is a mad job.
Yeah, I know, that's a mad
What's the likelihood of getting that? What's the likelihood?
It's
not realistic. It's not realistic.
After tax, it's not.
Do you know what it is, bro?
Average salary is probably like what, 28k in the UK?
Well, you know what it is, bro? People need to come off the internet and come back down to earth.
Okay, so a woman's got a high body count.
Yeah.
I think that's an issue.
I think it's no more of an issue than when a man has a body count. When you have a high body count, man or woman, you have to drop your standards in order to have a high body count, either in the women that you're investing in or the treatment you're getting. You have to choose a woman who's very promiscuous for her to be okay with one night stands. So what's happening is you're now getting used to women who are calling their boyfriend and saying, babe, I'll be home in 10 minutes while she's in your bed. You are getting used to women who are like sleeping with you and then going off to sleep with your friend the next day. You are used to such a low level of woman. You no longer have the skills and tools required to speak, to communicate, or be with a wholesome, good woman that can maintain a marriage.
You know, the guy was saying essentially a lot of guys aren't trying in the dating market anymore. And so really for the guys who do try to better themselves, you know, the bar is low. So you can probably get a woman fairly easy if you work on yourself. I think the issue and the reason that men are taking themselves out of the dating market a lot of times is because we make it seem like men are so bad. We make it seem like men have nothing to offer. But a man has to pay all of this money up front to a woman who's in the same position or even worse. So the man has to go out there, bust his behind just to get, honestly and truly, a mediocre woman to even look his direction. And I have to wine you and dine you. Once again, you're mediocre. It's not like your conversation is great. It's not like you're anybody that's done anything special. So why do I have to go out there and work so hard and bust my behind to try to impress you? And you're really not worth impressing. Like you don't do anything, and you tell me up front you're not going to do anything. Why would I want to pick from a pool of those type of women?
This is a video for the girls regarding how I see some of you talking about men on this app. And I'm sorry, girls, but I'm going to have to call us out a little bit collectively because I see so many videos every day on this app criticizing men for various things, right? Being emotionally stunted and unavailable, and, you know, screenshotting texts or describing conversations where men exhibit lack of basic emotional development and essentially saying that they're like all psychos and not worth engaging with. On the one side, fine, whatever. I mean, honestly, I wish people wouldn't make those videos, and I think it's very classless to debate every single dating position on the internet, but whatever. But then on the other hand, anytime I see a video of a man on this app exhibiting any joy, any whimsy, any emotional development where they are actually showing vulnerability and being open, all of the comments, I open the comments, all of the comments are saying he's gay, implying he's gay. Oh, who's gonna tell her that her husband's gay? Because he showed some whimsy, maybe did a dance, you know, was vulnerable. And all of those comments are from women. And those two things exist in parallel, and they're part of the same problem. And if you want men to develop emotionally, you've got to stop bullying them every single time they display any emotional development. Do you understand? See how those two things are connected? Like, let's have some accountability for our own actions in this. I know it's super fun to blame men for everything, but I actually really think that's not the only problem here.
I snapped all the black men away. Would a white man accept you? The average white man.
You mean like the same way you say average for a black man?
Yeah, if I snapped all the black men away, could you expect white men, average white men, above average white men, would they come and say, well, sure, Becky or you? Yeah, sure. Would white men take you?
Maybe if it wasn't, no. No.
Okay, would a Chinese man take you? Would Asian men take you?
No.
Would Middle Eastern men? Stop. Would Middle Eastern men take you?
No, probably not.
No, because you know you couldn't come to them with the same thing you come to a black man with. Listen.
Why do you think that is?
Listen. Because we are not beneath you. Your standards is you think black men should accept. Why would you expect a black man to accept what you know a white man, an Asian man, and a Middle Eastern man wouldn't expect?
Kevin Samuels was so hated by the woman.
Kevin Samuels, KS, who is now deceased, thankfully.
Celebrated his
Ding dong. The Wicked Witches didn't follow him because I didn't like the way he talked to women. But now we ain't got to worry about that and got to hear him no more.
And he ain't never killed nobody. He never raped nobody. He was known for beating women. They celebrated his death. And all of them ran to him for his word.
Beyonce's an 8. Kelly Rowland would be a 9. And Rihanna, even with her big forehead, would be a 10.
Okay.
He didn't seek it out.
He didn't seek it out.
And he was so
straight line.
gentlemanlike.
Straight line.
He was so professional. He wouldn't like me to say. But Kevin Samuels done it in a stern, gentlemanlike way. But our women celebrated his death. But they'll clap for the gay. They'll clap for the gangster.
I'm 30 years old and I couldn't be more uninterested in marriage and dating. I've done so much on my own that I'm genuinely unimpressed by the population of men that we have to date. I have not met one person that has made my life significantly easier. I literally lived in 5 different cities by the time I was 30 and I moved every single time by myself. I also bought a place when I was 25, a mortgage on my own. I know how to do electrical work. I know how to patch drywall. Like, as long as I become a man is truly making my life significantly easier.
It took me a second to realize, like, what she's complaining about. I genuinely believed she was like, oh, like, I have all the money. I know how to do around the house. I've been single for a long time. I can travel. You can't give me anything that I can't give myself if it's material. Or none of those typical masculine things like hanging a TV or fixing electric. And I genuinely believed she was about to be like, I need emotional connection. I need a bond. I need a father figure for my children, my future children, like to build a family. Then she went on to say, like, I can pay for my own dinner. I can pay for my own flight. I need someone that's significantly gonna make my life better. The f*** do you mean, though? Do you want just more money? Okay, like, do you want someone that can just build an entire house by himself with his own hands? Like, what do you want? I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I thought you would want actual relationship. What was the point of learning all that if you're just coming on here to just be like, actually, I'm good on my own? Why are you making a video about it, bro?
Proof that I think the population is going to slowly decline.
And what proof would that be?
Because I'm in a room of like 100 men, and not one of them has approached.
Oh, how awful. Men are minding their own business and not bothering random women out in public. Of course, apparently they want to be bothered by random men in public, but I really don't think that they're going to approach now, especially after someone has turned the light on and started making a video in the middle of a public place ranting about how guys aren't approaching.
I just think men this day and age don't want to date.
That's entirely possible. However, it's much more probable that those gentlemen are simply having a good time amongst themselves and enjoying being around each other. Moreover, why exactly would they want to approach some women out there who seem to bring nothing but drama, as we have just seen? Some women are really entirely too full of themselves and seem to think that the world revolves around them.
So the ladies' favorite word for men today are narcissist. Narcissist is the trending word. No matter what the argument is, the men are narcissists. So I, being the investigative content creator that I am, baby, I went and looked up the word narcissist because I wanted to get a true definition. And I seen this image pop up. Behaviors of a narcissist. Lack of empathy for others. Has a strong desire for attention and admiration from others. Consistently has problematic relationships and has inflated sense of self-worth or importance. Wait a minute now. Isn't it always the women online complaining about how none of their relationships are working? Because it's the men. But the men be in relationships sometimes and they be happy, but y'all don't. That sounds like constantly being in problematic relationships. And then the overinflated self-worth. Everybody's a 10. Nobody's average because I'm a 10, right? And then on the other side, not having empathy for others. Girl, I'm going to do what I want to do because this is my life to live. It don't matter if it hurt him, F them kids. Y'all see strangers struggling and don't care, right? And it is mostly women that be online half naked, acting a fool for what? Likes and views or admiration and attention. If the men are narcissists, how is it that the ladies are fitting these descriptive words so well? Why is it that these behaviors are found in so many women if the men are the narcissists? I'm trying to figure it out.
Average women now view themselves as 10 out of 10. They have a diluted perception because they get so much attention online. They have so many people sliding into their DMs. They're being told, oh, believe you're a 10. Believe even if you're like a 4, honestly, sometimes from what I see. They're deluded, right? So those average women are not looking for average men. Those average women are thinking in their mind they're not average, and now they're looking for way, way, way above average men. They get away with that. A 4 can become a 7. 3 can become a 5. It happens, right? Think about it. Lashes, makeup, under eye concealer. Forget about the Botox and the filler that's been injected, but the hair extensions, the whole thing becomes like, who is this person? Guys can't do all that. You know, what does a guy do to get ready most of the time? They get a good haircut. If they have hair, they cut it. They put on a nice outfit, they take a shower, and they go.
You ever notice how women will punish good men because they're good men? I recently called out women for reserving most of their disrespect for the men they're dating. And I actually wound up in a conversation with a girl in my friend group about the topic. This was her rationale. Yeah, I guess that's kind of true, but that's just because we feel more comfortable around you. Like, we know you're not going to get angry or do anything bad to us. Disclaimer. I really like this girl, and I know she thinks she's being complimentary with this reasoning, but I had to explain to her that if she completes the circle of that thought process, she will land on the realization that she is being disrespectful to a man because he is good. And I know that a ton of women rationalize their behavior like this in the same way. Newsflash, we do get angry. We just don't act on it. Why? Because we're good. This is why good men shut down in relationships instead of fighting you. They become what they believe is the least dangerous and most peaceful versions of themselves in these moments. So ladies, I'm not saying you're bad people. I'm just saying that this is a thing you do that you should change.
Women are the most single, and we have the biggest women, most overweight, most obese. Again, whether you want to use BMI or not, we can look with our 2 eyes. Y'all really got to stop playing with us on that. You think I want to say that? No. You think where people are making it up? No, we can see it with our own eyes. It's like, well, Black women really aren't that big. No, yeah, you are. We have the most single women. We have the biggest women. I think they intersect. Ladies, you will not fix the single problem as a whole until you fix the body, attitude, and mindset problem. Today, we're just focusing on the body. But until you fix the body, attitude, and mindset problem, you're not going to fix the single problem. Okay, when you have all 3 of those things, body, attitude, and mindset, you're a unicorn. Bam, results. Exactly. It's not complex, but a lot of women are making this very hard. I don't like that for you, ladies. A lot of you making this too hard. All right.
And there was a woman that said, you know, you want a man to be emotionally available, but then you turn around, and she used the word bully. That's something that I've been saying. I know people think sometimes because you don't physically put your hands on somebody, then you're not bullying them, or you're not. Some of these women are doxing men, honestly. You know, oh man, you're being dramatic. No, if they don't like something that you do, they'll say, hey, you know, find this, do that. They'll find your job and call your job. You haven't even done anything. You just maybe commented something or shared your opinion. And if they don't like it, then they'll call your job, or, you know, people that you might be surrounded with or surrounded by, your network, and they'll try to shame you. Modern women, they kind of do, there's that movie Mean Girls. They kind of do stuff like that, where they create a coalition of, and it's funny that modern women, because this kind of grabs into or goes into how modern women talk about men and the age gap dating. Men are predators. They prey on these young women who don't know any better and are not mature enough to fight each other or fight back or know any better. But then they do the same thing. Well, what do you mean? They will go in there and look at other women who, I want to be accepted. I'm not really part of any group. So this girl is accepting me. I'll be a part of the group. And they collectively, maybe 3, 4, 5 of them become a group of mean girls. And probably at least 2 or 3 of them are not actually mean. They're actually very sweet people. They're actually very nice. But because, I'm looking for some friends, then I kind of get in good with her. She's powerful. She's kind of an alpha. And, I just need somebody to hang out with. And, she's kind of mean sometimes, but then we do, or a lot of time, but then we do sometimes see flashes of her softer side and her vulnerable side. So we just think that we can fix her. You can fix her by telling her to go to therapy and stop treating not only men, but people in general this way, including yourself.
First truths you need to understand as men if you're going to be in relationships with women. She has the power to completely destroy your life just by her say so, and there's little to nothing that you can do to defend yourself. She can take everything that you own. She can take your kids. She can make the schedule for you to never see them again, and she can even put you in prison just by her say so. She can make up an entire narrative about you as a person, who you are, who you want to become, things that you did. She can make up an entire story, tell her friends, tell the internet, tell her family. She will have zero proof, zero evidence, but she will always be believed. So tread lightly. And the other part about that is she could have your friends, your family, everyone that's close to you turn on you in the blink of an eye, even with little to no proof.
Unpopular opinion. A lot of women claim that they want a man who's emotionally mature and has it together until you actually get one. And then you realize that man come with discipline, standards, boundaries, limits. He don't just give in to you because you said you wanted something, and he not dealing with no smart mouth just because it's you. Now all of a sudden he a lying ass narcissist and he don't know how to treat a woman because he don't just give you your way all the time. He actually uses logic and discipline whenever he thinks, and he moves and he acts. He's an emotional because even when you summon the waterworks, he don't let you win the argument. He want to still come to some kind of conflict resolution and talk about whatever it is that y'all needed to talk about. He'll give you a second to get your emotions together and check on the side over there, and then come back and let's finish discussing whatever we were discussing, because it's a bigger problem at hand than just you crying right now. I get it, you're emotional, but he don't just let that control him in the ways that other men let that control him, because he got his together, remember? And until you're ready to actually communicate, leave that man where he at. Until you actually ready to listen, leave that man where he at. Until you're ready to sit down and have real adult conversations, leave that man where he at. Because let me tell you something, dealing with a man who's emotionally mature is not for the weak.
If you're going around saying black women have attitudes and all this, you're most likely just square or corny. Black women have really good corny radars and DL radars. It's like kind of like installed in their software as they get older. It's just the programming keeps updating. So if you do some corny weird, then you might get an attitude for them. You might get a little distance from them. They might call you a name.
Men who make their content about pandering to women really piss me off. And just in case you don't think that this man is a panderer, let's watch another video.
Your husband is dark skinned. You need to get you a dark skinned man this summer that's bearded with muscles and tattoos, good height, emotional stability, likes to go to church, gives you princess treatment adversely.
Pandering to women online is extremely profitable, both monetarily and in other ways, but I can't stand it because it keeps women delusional. Y'all are gonna hold off on dating, trying to find a man like him when he's not even a man like him. He's telling y'all to find a husband while he's thirst trapping on TikTok for strangers. Let's bring this back to reality. Men know what women want to hear. And so he's saying that on purpose. He's a wannabe Derek Jackson. And to the hundreds of thousands of followers that have fallen for his nonsense, I pity you for being such a dummy.
Most women think a good man is hard to find. The truth? A lot of them find one and push him away. Number one, he doesn't need constant attention. He enjoys your company, but he's perfectly fine on his own too. Number two, he won't compete with other men for you. If he feels like he has to fight for basic respect, he'll simply walk away. Number three, he listens carefully, but he doesn't always agree. A mature man can understand your feelings without abandoning his own opinion. Number four, he doesn't play games, no mixed signals. No mind games, no disappearing and reappearing for attention. Number five, he expects accountability. If he apologizes when he's wrong, he expects the same from you. Number six, he values peace more than being right, but don't mistake that for weakness. He simply refuses to waste energy on unnecessary conflict. Number seven, he notices effort. The small things matter to him more than grand promises. Number eight, if he feels unwanted long enough, he leaves. Not to teach you a lesson, not to make you chase him, because eventually everyone gets tired of feeling unappreciated. The hardest truth about good men is this: most of them don't leave because they stopped loving you. They leave because they stopped feeling valued.
The top 5 traits that men want in women. I interviewed 100 masculine men. Asked them, what are you looking for? What are you not looking for? What are your biggest icks? What would make you run for the hills? And what do you want to have in place before you commit to a partner? They answered all of those and everything in between. If you want that report, I'll send it to you. Just comment report in the comments and I will send it your way. For now, the top 5 traits that men want in a partner. Number 5, supportive. And I would go as far as to say supportive of this man's mission. What I find is that women are either one of 3 things when it comes to a guy's mission. They're either a detractor or neutral, or they're an accelerator. What are you to your man and the men in your life? Number 4, nurturing. What a man brings to the table and what a woman brings to the table is typically the things that they do not have themselves. So a man can go out there and make his bag. A guy can go out there and conquer the world. Guys, by and large, very rarely are genuinely, innately nurturing. So we want that from our feminine counterpart. That's number 4, nurturing. Number 3 is love and connect. These are things that guys are never going to get from the AI dating apps. They're never going to get from marrying a robot. They're never going to get from anyone aside from his feminine counterpart. He wants love and connection as number 3. Number 2, he wants a best friend or teammate, you could call it. I think what a lot of women don't understand is that when men jump into partnership, they're looking for someone who complements their strength. They're not looking for someone who's the same as them. If you think of the best teams, they have complementary players and each individual is good at something different. That's what makes them an amazing team. Guys are looking for a best friend and teammate in partnership as well. And number 1, this came up across so many categories in this report. The number 1 thing that men are looking for in a partner is loyalty. And the fastest thing that would get a guy to run away from a potential partner is signs that a woman is not loyal. I'm about to make a video on the top 5 things that men want when a stressful thing happens in their life, like how they want to be supported by their women. If you want that video, hit the follow button and I'll see you there.
What do you do if an avoidant pulls away? They say they need space. They say they have feelings for you, but they aren't ready to commit to anything. And the answer is nothing. You do nothing because your nervous system wants to chase them, right? And over-accommodate to get them back because it interprets distance as rejection. But here's the thing. Even if you got them back, it didn't solve anything. It just temporarily calmed your anxiety. The solution and the healing comes from doing nothing. Not as a way to manipulate them into coming back. The healing comes from sitting in the discomfort and getting honest with yourself. Because every time they pull away and you panic and overfunction and chase them, you're teaching yourself that this is normal. And you're conditioning them that they can do whatever they want and you'll always come running. Stop trying to drag someone towards connection that's actively resisting it. Let them be who they want to be, and you decide if this is the right relationship for you. I'm not here to hate on avoidance. They can live their life however they want. They don't have to consider your needs. I'm telling you that the right person for you will, without you begging them to.
Yes, I want a rich man. I am not going to pretend otherwise. But let me tell you what rich actually means to me. Because it has nothing to do with a number in a bank account. Money comes and goes. Markets crash. Businesses fail. The number can be gone overnight and often is. What cannot be stripped away from a man is his character, the way he handles adversity, the way he treats people who cannot do anything for him, the way he keeps his word when breaking it would be easy and consequence-free. That is the wealth I am actually looking for. Rich in discipline, rich in integrity, rich in the kind of backbone that holds even when the pressure is real. A man with those things can always rebuild whatever he loses. But no amount of money in the world manufactures the character he does not already carry inside him.
Are my videos ruining your relationship? Apparently so, according to a bunch of angry, delusional, emotional women who seem to have problems with accountability and common sense. My husband keeps sending me your videos, and this is affecting my marriage. You need to stop. My ex is posting all of your videos on his page, and I feel insulted. Listen, Cupcake, the fact that you are struggling with your marriage has nothing to do with me or my videos and everything to do with you and your partner. You two are the problem, and honestly, you shouldn't even be together. And if you happen to have a narcissistic, egomaniac, manipulative, evil husband, do you not realize that he will still use my videos, the Bible, and literally everything else available to him to justify his evil actions? Do you not see that? Huh? Hello? Is anybody there? Wake up. Are you also going to call the Vatican and tell them to stop printing the Bible because it says women submit to your husband? Are you?
No. Then why do you keep messaging me this crap? My videos are not the problem, honey. You and the person you chose as a partner are, okay? Accountability to you women is what kryptonite is to Superman. Jeez, man, come on. You guys are stressing me out.
The more masculine he is, the more controlling he's going to be. This doesn't mean he's going to be insecure. It means he's going to look to protect you, meaning that the things that you do are going to be something he pays attention to because he wants to make sure that it's for your best interest. And now, do you trust him? If you don't trust him, you're going to call him controlling and you're going to put a projection on him that he's entitled and wants to hurt you. But remember, he's the person that wants to protect you and give you everything. So don't think that that's not a valuable characteristic. Consider where that person's coming from. Are they doing it to hide from themselves, or are they doing it for your best interest? If you trust them and you feel that the intention deep down is for your own well-being, then maybe listen.
And unfortunately, Sarah's right. A lot of these modern women, they talk about wanting a man that's emotionally stable and available, and emotionally mature. But when they get mad, there's this guy in the clip. He was like, man, when women get mad, I don't see them punching a hole in the wall. I don't see them breaking stuff. First of all, when they get mad, modern women, these women fly into a rage. I know y'all have all seen that clip where I don't even know what happened, but the woman got out of the car and tried to get in the man's face, and that man full around and body slammed her. She was all in his face, putting her hands on him, decided she was going to punch him. There's another clip of a man and a woman arguing. She's all in his face, disrespecting him, decides to put her hands. And when I say put her hands, decides to punch him. And when he knocked her back, you can see her head snap back, and her friend on the other side who's recording didn't say anything the whole freaking time. Didn't say nothing. Recording and sit there and let him do. And now when he knocked her head back, and it was just a jab. It wasn't really nothing too strong. All of a sudden, oh, you didn't have to do that. And we have an instance of another woman out there all in her feelings and her emotions. In that man's face, chest to chest, all up look. And mind you, the man is taller than she is. Looking up to him, her friends say, oh, this is enough. I'm about to step in, because she was a little bit bigger and she was probably the same height, maybe a little bit shorter than the man. Decided to walk over there. I think she might have pushed him or something like that. Maybe big faced him. I can't remember, but she put her hands on him. And when that man, it was quick too. Quick right hook, knocked her back, and you know, she had to stumble back, and all of a sudden I'm trying to regain my consciousness and all that stuff. I'm trying to clear my head. And then, oh no, you're not gonna hit my friend like that. Put her hands on the man. And he had to give her a quick right hook too. And now she's stumbling back, glasses knocked off. I'm looking for, nobody wants to say anything about it. Nobody wants to talk anymore. When a man decides, hey, stop doing that. Modern women are out of control with their emotions, both physically and emotionally.
Women get tattoos for culturally too. Well, my friends got it. Oh, look tough on this. Oh, I'm gonna get that too. Yeah, we know you get it for that. We know a lot of men get it for that too. But there's also another dark side to tattoos.
There is. No, there really is.
I'm going through something, so tat me up.
No, seriously.
You know what I'm saying? So a man that's going through something is kind of, what I'm saying is that a man that's going through something is attractive in a woman's eyes. This is what I'm saying. Like, he going through something and he overcame it. He got that tattoo that means something. But that woman that went through something, like, scars is sexy on a man. Scars isn't sexy on a woman. Make sense? Like, women want her man to have scars because it's like he went through something, he overcame it. So that means that if I'm in a relationship with him and a situation arises, he'll be able to handle that because he went through it before. Yeah. Right? So scars is sexy on a man. An experienced man is sexy. But men, we don't necessarily look for an experienced woman. So if she has a whole lot of scars, it's like damaged goods.
Why? Yeah.
More and more women are becoming childless, unmarried, and miserable. By 2030, nearly half of women aged 25 to 44 will be single and childless. And like that wasn't enough, depression will become the leading cause of disability, with women being affected at twice the rate than men. And all of this is thanks to feminism and the boss babe mentality. Listen, girls, biology does not care about your career, and your mental health doesn't either. Your ovaries have an expiration date. If you're an empowered 35-year-old and single career woman, you aren't living your best life. You're expiring while looking at frozen eggs in a cabinet full of antidepressants. This is not freedom or empowerment. This is a total mess for our whole society. And men, you need to step the up too. Stop being so weak and passive. What the happened to you? Start leading again. Become masculine and start guiding women while they're still young, because this isn't just a woman problem. It's a we problem, and you men are the leaders.
The reason people don't like the Passport Bros is because it exposes the ego that exists within a lot of American women. We have a literacy crisis in America. Actually, people who can't understand the things that they read. We have the privilege of having that crisis almost as a self-help crisis. Like, we did that to ourselves. There are countries where people are banned from going to school, where people have to fight to go to, where they have to have money to build school. They don't have no infrastructure for that. So when they go to school, they do it for it's not no funny, it's their whole life. Any first generation knows the pressure of that exact mind frame. So when y'all are talking, saying they want these stupid women, they're not stupid. They're smarter than you, but they're culturally different, and that's what they're going for. But you saying that as if it's just xenophobia, because what do you mean? They're way smarter than you. Contextually, yeah, they are.
These women are chasing after, that they like these bad guys and these prisoners and all that. They're not looking for no relationship. They'll even go as far as to marrying you. They don't take that serious. They don't take no vows or nothing serious. They're in it for themselves. They're trying to get what they can get out of it. But that is what the community and the culture is turning into, liking anything, like I said the other day. And the music is a huge contributor of it. You end up liking somebody that looks shot, stabbed, somebody that looks like they done went through some ghetto war. They just look filthy, look like they done been digging in a garbage can all day and night. And the dirtier they look, the more you like them. Anybody that looks clean looks like a cornball or a square.
Men who are average height, not short, just average, are increasingly functionally invisible to a growing majority of women. Like women. Imagine you were just average attractive, which, spoiler alert, you probably are, and having 90% of men just ignore you. You could be charming, or smart, or funny, or rich, but because you were just average looking, not ugly, mind you, just average, the vast majority of men would just never give you a shot. That would be tough, wouldn't it? And there just isn't much a guy can do about his height, short of getting stilts implanted in his shins, which I would not recommend. He is the height that he is. It might mean that he is at an unfair advantage in life, and in the marketplace in particular. But them's the breaks.
Men don't know that women don't know how protective you are. We think you'll protect us if you like us. We think you'll protect us if you're attracted to me. Now, we think you'll protect us if you're not mad at us. Yeah. We think if you're mad at us, you'll just be like, oh, there's a tiger. You want mustard with her? Like, take her. We really do. But and also what men don't know that women don't know is we don't know what honor is to a man. To a man, honor is doing the right thing, no matter what you feel.
Do girls really like nice guys?
I mean, honestly, if you ask me, in my experience, women do get attracted to bad boys and toxicity a lot. But then as you mature and as you heal, you tend to see the red flags from the first sign, the first person that you meet. For me, I'm not attracted to toxic boys anymore.
But there was a time when you were...
There was a time, yes, of course. Everybody has that kind of time when they were attracted to bad boys, thinking that, when we come in their life, we would change them. But
I can fix him.
Yes, I can fix them, but that's not the case. I'm sorry. If you think that you can fix a guy, that's not the case.
This is not going to sound very independent woman of me. I don't care. Being with a man is so regulating for me. Like, I just don't think that men realize, like, sometimes all a woman needs, like, when she's, like, in a really heightened emotional state, is for the big, strong man in her life to just, like, grab her by the shoulders and just be like, hey, it's gonna be okay. I don't know, there's something different about it. Like, my girlfriends can tell me, like, oh, it's gonna be okay, and, like, they're coming at it from a lot of levels of like empathy and sympathy, and like that's great, and I appreciate that energy for my female friendships so much. But when a man says that, he's coming from like a state of authority and a state of like action-oriented power. It just means a lot.
All a man really wants to do, ladies, I'm sure you don't believe this, he wants to make you happy. But if he gets to the point where he believes nothing will, then he gets angry. And then he looks for some other place to feel like he's enough, because that's his upbringing. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what it is. And by the way, women, as they get older, if they feel like they're not cherished and loved, and sometimes they aren't, or someone else becomes more important to that person, then they get angry and intense. Yeah. And so now we have people that love each other, generalizing, distorting, deleting about the other side. Then it's hard to even have a new relationship, because you're still, when you come to a new relationship, you put across this person the filter of what's happened in the past. And if they do something similar to that person, oh, you better not do that, and we get angry and upset, it isn't even them. How many get this? Say I.
The men on the flip side don't want a woman that's saying, I don't need you. Ooh, I make my own money, so what do I need you for?
But wait, can I ask you a question? What is the problem with I don't need you to function in my life, but I do desire you. I do love you. I do want you, but I do not need you to function.
Oh, SD, what's up, SD? So you talking that up on the humble, because that's not, that's, and a lot of times I don't even fall in line with the traditional conversation, but like, that's not how that badge gets worn.
Okay, how does
that badge doesn't get worn as I don't need you, but I love you. It's I don't need you because you triggered something in me that validated what I thought about y'all all along.
You enter a relationship with me and you tell me you got male friends, I'm thinking to myself, okay, he ain't never come into my home. He can't call or text you after 6, and if he got a job, he don't get off till 5. So that's a done deal. He's never coming to no gatherings that's for me. You ain't never going to go meet him nowhere and chill with him. So you start to say to yourself, this is not really a friend, because it ain't. It ain't. Yeah. That man been studying you now for 10 years. You met him at 20. You're 31 years old. He been studying you. You done told him everything you don't like about the other guys, so he knows exactly what mask to put on when he deal with you.
So does body count matter? No, because my body count, while it might have been on the higher side because of decisions I made as a teenager, you know, that shouldn't be held to me now, because I've done the work, I've healed, I've grown. I no longer do that. So I don't want to judge anybody for decisions that they've made in their past. I don't want to judge anybody. A body count shouldn't matter, because if you're making those decisions now of going out and sleeping around with everybody, then yeah, that matters. But because of maybe something that you did when you were a teenager, and because of whatever reason, trauma, whatever, shouldn't be held against a person now. That shouldn't devalue them, because who I was at 13, 14, 15 years old is not who I am now as, you know, a grown adult. That is where, for me, it's like, does body count really matter in that regard? No, because I'm not going to judge you for where you've been. I want to see you where you are now.
And Cooley was talking about women who have tattoos. A lot of times, these modern women go through things and they get a tattoo. Well, they don't even go through things, actually. They might have something for their child. I've seen a lot of women that have something for their child or their mother, or something marking their birthday. But sometimes these modern women be doing it just because everybody else is doing it. And they get down the road later on in life, probably in about a couple years, sometimes 5 to 10 years, and they say, man, I should have never gotten this tattoo. It's not reflective of who I am today. And some of these modern women even say, well, my mama told me not to get this tattoo. My mama begged and pleaded with me not to get this tattoo. My friends begged and pleaded with me not to get this tattoo, but I went on ahead and did it because I had another group of friends that had they're not really a good influence, and they told me, go ahead and get it, YOLO, and all these other things, instead of just doing the responsible thing and say, hey, if you want a tattoo, it's probably going to be something that's permanent. You can remove it sometimes, but is it something that you actually want before jumping into it and making a decision?